I actually want to talk about this a little bit more. A really disturbing trend that's going on with giant retailers. I mean, I for one think Black Friday is horrible as it is. I would never go out on Black Friday myself. I would avoid that like the plague.
It sounds
But
scary.
yeah, exactly, right? Precisely. And especially watching, people trample over each other for stuff. It really is horrible. But what's even worse now is tons and tons of gigantic retailers, Walmart included, are actually opening up their bloody stores, not on Black Friday, not even at like midnight on the morning of Black Friday, or 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning like they've been doing in previous years, which is also bloody crazy that they can't wait until 8 a.m. or whatever to open their stupid stores. But now they're actually opening them up on Thanksgiving itself. Talk a little about that and how ridiculously horrible that is.
Yeah, we saw this trend start last year. A couple of stores opened on Thanksgiving Day rather than waiting until Black Friday. And this year we've seen quite a big wave. Walmart is just the latest to join at least 10 other big box stores that have decided to open on Thanksgiving Day this year. And they range from, the typical stores like Walmart and Best Buy where they do these Black Friday deals, to Staples, which I don't think does, but is opening on Thanksgiving Day anyway.
Come in and get ink at ink and paper.
Blow out, like staplers on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
And what this means is that people have to go to work on Thanksgiving because someone's got to staff those stores. Kmart's been the most aggressive. A lot of the stores are opening sort of in the evening hours of Thanksgiving Day. Kmart is going to open at 6 a.m. and stay open through Black Friday, which that's a lot of people that have to go to work and miss out on the holiday. And even these evening hours, I mean, you think about when you do Thanksgiving celebrations, it's usually a dinner towards the evening. This means a lot of people are going to miss being with their family and friends to celebrate. The stores are claiming that the workers are really excited to work that day. I'm not entirely sure why they're excited.
Right.
But I think we've seen some evidence that pushes back against that. One is that there's been reports, particularly at Kmart, of workers being denied their request to take that day off. The company says that's not policy, but each store is different, and they've been sending information in that they've been denied. And beyond that, and sort of on a larger picture, a lot of workers in retail struggle, not just to get by, but to be given enough hours to make the money they need to get by. We've seen increasingly retail workers saying that scheduling is really erratic. They have to show up at any time, and sometimes they'll show up and be sent home immediately because there's not enough demand, which really screws with their ability to make a living, as well as, schedule something like childcare or transportation. Getting the hours you want is used as an incentive, or denying you the hours as a disciplinary tool. A lot of people are working part-time right now who want to be working full-time. So I think all of that paints this picture of people who, quote-unquote, volunteer to work on a holiday are really people who are struggling to get the hours they need at other times and feel like this might be their best shot, which is, to me, just sort of a sad state of affairs all around, that they have to miss a holiday with their families just to get by. It's not a great way to treat our workers. Not to mention that the U.S. is the only advanced country that doesn't guarantee workers paid vacation days. So there may be a lot of workers around the country who aren't able to take a day off like Thanksgiving Day and make, get paid for it. So it's a sad trend. The good news is that we at Think Progress have been tracking the stores that have decided not to do this. And there are a handful, names that you will recognize, like Nordstrom, Burlington Coat Factory, Radio Shack. Apple's CEO, actually, a couple Apple stores wanted to open on Thanksgiving Day, and reportedly Tim Cook said, no, we're all going to close. This is a day where you need to be with your families. It's the right thing to do. So there are some companies, I think, who still recognize that, treating your workers well means giving them time off to celebrate with their loved ones. But there's definitely a big trend this year of stores deciding that it's better to just open on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and I think you made a really good point about like if people who are listening have never had the joy of working either like a retail job or a fast food job, whatever these low wage jobs. One thing that I don't think a lot of people, and I mean I think most people who listen to the show probably would give the benefit of the doubt, but if you've never, like a lot of conservatives who are like, well, just get a second job or something like that. When you're working like a fast food job or a retail job, they essentially need you to keep your schedule open all week for the most part. And like, so you'll be working one day, you'll be coming in at to open at, 8 a.m. and then the next day you might be closing until 11 p.m. or midnight. And so it's like you're getting paid a very small amount of money, sometimes a minimum wage or maybe a little bit more, but also you don't really have any type of schedule consistency where you're like flying all over the place, working all these really odd shifts. And for one, that makes getting another job more complicated because you have to keep your schedule open to keep this little job you have, but it also makes your life complicated in so much that you're not able to like actually have some type of routine and stuff. So like a lot of these big retailers really demand more than a normal quote unquote 9-to-5 job actually demands of workers.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine what it's like. You don't know what your hours are going to be for the week. A lot of workers say that they don't know from week to week what they're going to be. They find out on Monday, or you're told to sort of be ready at any time for just-in-time scheduling. Then you find out you're going to work. You scurry to arrange, transportation, whether it's public or, getting a car, a carpool, or just driving there. You have kids. You have to find someone to watch them that you can afford, and you show up to work hopefully to get enough hours to bring home pay to feed your family, and they say, not a lot of people showed up today, we don't need you, go home. I mean, this is what happens to lots and lots of people who work in retail, and I think it would be not only really difficult financially, but crazy making.
Yeah.